You built the company, you hit the number, you bought the house, the car, the vacation home. Your name carries weight in rooms that most men are never going to enter. And by every measurable standard, you've won, man. You're a success. So the question I want to ask you is, why does it feel like something is missing? Why do you feel like there's still a gap? Well, first of all, let me say this, brother. You're not broken. You're not ungrateful, and you're definitely not alone, because every single man I work with, not most of them, not some of them, every man I work with arrives at the same haunting and daunting realization. Money, power, and success never delivered what they promised or what it promised. I like to call this the consumption assumption. Our culture has sold you a lie so convincingly that you never even questioned it. And the idea is simple, that the more you acquire, the happier you're going to be. If you consume more, if you build more, if you earn more, peace and fulfillment and satisfaction are going to follow. But you know better now, don't you? But here's what actually is happening. You hit the goal and you're going to feel a rush for a few days, I don't know, maybe a week, but then the goalpost moves. Now it's the next revenue milestone. Now it's the next acquisition. It's the next level. It's the, if I can just hit this number, if I can just build it this big, if I can just acquire this one thing. But the finish line is always moving. And you're running a race that was never designed to have an end. It becomes an insatiable chase. By the way, this isn't a willpower problem. It's not a discipline problem. It's a design problem. You were never designed or wired to find ultimate satisfaction in the things of this world. The more you consume, the more you feel like you need to consume just to maintain. And the disappointment is not in what you built. This is the cognitive dissonance. It's not in what you built. The disappointment is in discovering that what you built can't actually give you what you need. So the question is, well, what do I need? The answer is simple. You actually need peace. And here's something nobody's telling you about peace. It's not the kind of peace that comes from a good quarter. That's reprieve. That's relief. It's not the temporary relief of closing a deal or paying off a debt. I'm talking about like real peace, real deep inner peace, the kind that does not evaporate the moment something goes wrong. Here's what you need to understand about that kind of peace: it cannot be manufactured, it cannot be bought, it cannot be negotiated or strategized or even willed into existence. No morning routine, no meditation app, no network milestone is going to produce this for you, brother. In Philippians chapter 4 and verse 7, I think it is, Paul describes a peace that transcends all understanding. And I want you, if you get a chance, I want you to read that passage carefully. It transcends understanding, meaning you can't explain it with logic. You can't reverse engineer it, and you cannot find it on some spreadsheet or vision board. It comes from a supernatural force that literally sits completely outside of the reach of your earning potential. And I think this is an important point. It's only something God can give you. It is a gift. But like all gifts, it has to be received. It can't be earned. And so I want you to know this. The problem is not you, it's with how you start your day. A lot of the men that I coach with, they share a common habit. They wake up, they map out their day, they execute at a high level, and then at some point they ask God to bless what they're already or what they've already set in motion. They build the plan and then invite God to co-sign on it. But very few of them in the beginning of this wake up and ask God what he's already blessing, and then they just step into that, join him on that journey. But brother, the distinction is everything. Because one approach puts you in the driver's seat with God as your co-pilot. I don't know if that's a great plan. The other puts God in the driver's seat with you fully surrendered to the direction he's already moving. One of these, the first one produces striving, the second one produces thriving. Thriving is where we find peace. But I want to be clear on this. Your ambition is not the enemy. Stop apologizing for it. Your drive is not sinful. God has hardwired men like you with the capacity for big vision, big execution. That's genuinely rare. But when that drive is fueled by a hole in your soul instead of a calling on your life, it becomes destructive. When you're sacrificing your health, your marriage, your kids on the altar of success, you are not building a kingdom. You are building a monument to your own emptiness. Let that sink in. And God will not bless that with his peace. He's not the author of confusion. And it's not because he doesn't love you, but because he loves you too much to let you stay here or there. I want to call you to something. I want to call you to a surrender that many successful men refuse to make. Because surrender is not a word that really sets well with men like you and I. Because you did not build what you built by surrendering. You fought, you outworked, you outthought, you refused to quit. But there is a surrender that does not make you weak. It actually is a surrender that sets you free. It makes you free. In fact, this type of surrender, I tell guys this all the time, it is the most aggressive move you can make as a leader. It's the type of surrender that takes you from an ordinary leader to an extraordinary leader very, very quickly. And here's what it is. It's the decision to stop striving for things that were never going to fill you and start aligning with the one who already knows the fullness you are searching for. It's about moving into alignment. It's about waking up and saying, God, not my agenda today, but yours. It's about making decisions not based on what grows the business, but on what honors the calling that is on your life. Brother, this is not passive. It's not soft. It is the hardest, most courageous thing that a driven man can do. And it is the only path, and I mean this, it is the only path to peace that you have been running towards your entire career without knowing it, and certainly without finding it. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to do something. I want you to start here, and I want you to start today. You do not need an overhaul. You do not need to overhaul your life overnight. What you need to do is take the first step. And here's what that first step is. Are you ready? I want you to audit your altar. Be honest with yourself about what you are sacrificing and what you are sacrificing it for. Is it your family? Is your family paying the price for your ambition? Is it your health? Is it your relationship with God? Name it, write it down, journal it out. And here's why. You cannot fix what you will not face. Change the first conversation of your day. Before you open your phone, check your email, or review your calendar, spend 5 minutes just asking God this one question. What are you doing today? How can I join you on this? That simple shift moves you from striving to thriving because you're moving into alignment with the CEO of the universe, your heavenly Father. And I think it's important that you get around men who are actually living this out. I mean, the reality is iron does sharpen iron. You need to be in a room with other Christian CEOs and leaders who are further down the road than you, men who have figured out how to build empires without destroying everything that matters. That community exists. You should be in one. The success you have built is real, but the gap you're feeling is real too. It is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that God is not done with you yet. The peace you are looking for is not on the other side of your next goal. It is literally, and I mean this quite literally, on the other side of your surrender.